The Super Mario Galaxy movie. Mario and Luigi and more are back in the sequel. Can it make another $1 billion like its predecessor? Or will Bowser be there to gobble up all those proceeds? We'll find out and launch into the galaxy spoiler-free.
This is Popcorn for Breakfast, presented by St. Louis Area Smoothie Kings. Now, here are your hosts, Cam and Kurt.
Welcome back to Popcorn for Breakfast, the spoiler-free movie review podcast that you're going to like, follow, and subscribe to right now. Today, we're talking about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And here today, to make sure we're on brand with that, Cam's got his shirt on, his Nintendo shirt.
Yeah, I always got a rep. I'm a major Nintendo evangelist, is what I've coined myself over the years.
Okay.
Because I believe in it. I believe in whimsy. And Nintendo is nothing if not whimsical, and I think everybody needs that in their lives. So
That's so true. I feel like I was a passive Nintendo player, even I loved the original games on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
To date myself.
NES,
and NES, yeah. But I kept seeing you get newer and stronger and more elaborate Mario games, and I'm like, I gotta figure out how to play those.
I feel like if nothing else, and I apologize, my voice is gone for those. This isn't how I normally sound, but I feel like if anything, I've become more of a Mario fan as I've gotten older, which is interesting. Like, there is nothing I love more than a new Mario game. To like when that drops, like, clear the schedule. It's so fun. It for all ages. It's just a great time.
It is, and there's endless scenarios that you can put Mario in.
Yes,
he's kind of like like Indiana Jones. Like, just put him up against Bowser or the Nazis in Indiana Jones case.
Yeah,
and let's
maybe
see
that'll
what
be the
happens.
next Mario game, Mario versus the Nazis.
Oh
I'm for it. But I agree, and I feel like that's what I love about Japanese media in general, is that they're just like, just do it. It'll be like, if it's weird, like in Mario Odyssey is kind of a weird game. Mario Wonder, kind of a weird game. But they're just like, whatever,
And
be weird.
And those are some of people's most beloved games.
Oh, they're so fun.
Out of all of the options there.
They're so fun.
It's pretty impressive. In fact, I don't even think that people, I've not seen many ranked lists of Mario games as well.
No, but I will say that, because we're talking about the Super Mario Galaxy movie today, when they dropped this title reveal and they went with the Super Mario Galaxy movie, that was immediately like a whoa moment for me, because I for whatever reason, I wasn't anticipating that. I was just anticipating Super Mario Brothers movie 2 or something a little more linear. When they threw the Galaxy tag on there and it was in like the Galaxy branding, that hit me in my soul, because those games, speaking of rankings, Galaxy and Galaxy 2 for the Wii, two of the best Mario games ever. Two of the best games ever. Like, those are both mint 10s. Like,
wow.
Like 10 out of 10 games, great games that I hold in a very special place in my heart. So that kind of made it feel for me like, okay, this is, it got me all the way back in again.
I love that. I love that. We're going to talk today specifically about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I'm sure some of your favorite characters from the games are going to pop up. Cam being the resident gamer, and I'm, again, the passive player, and I will watch over his shoulder as much as I possibly can. This is going to be great. We're going to have so much fun today. We're going to do take 1, take 2, take 3, different opinions on different elements of this film, and I get to do my special marker clap, so stay tuned for that, as well as our final looks. We call it last looks on our full summation of the movie, all spoiler free. If you haven't seen the movie yet, which you haven't, we got an early screening for it, but we're excited for you to see it in theater as it was meant to be this coming weekend here. So with that said, Cam, I'm going to let you go first with, wait for it, take 1.
All right. So I went back and listened to our review of the Super Mario Brothers movie, Super Mario Bros movie.
Yeah.
Which I don't always do, and I always kind of cringe when I hear my old scores, because I never, your opinions kind of morph over time, and I feel like if I were going back, I would be harder on that first movie than I was. I gave it an 8. I don't think it's an 8. I have some issues with that first movie, and the thing that really gets me about it is the backstory stuff, because there's something, and I said it on the episode then too, there's something so uncanny about watching that New York, Brooklyn backstory play out, because nothing like that is ever in the games at all. And I am getting to my take, so just give me a second.
No, this is good. This is good build up.
So that part of that movie just really weighed on me. And I was like, I know why they did it. Because they're like, we have to establish an emotional through line for this Mario character if it's his story. And that's the route they chose to go. It's not the route that I would have chosen to go. I like how the games work, where it's just like, you're in it. Like, it doesn't matter who Mario is, doesn't matter why he's a plumber, it doesn't matter why has an Italian accent. Like, none of that stuff matters. What matters is that he is the ultimate good in this world and is trying to save the Mushroom Kingdom or save whoever, right? Save his brother, save the princess. This movie was unencumbered by that because the first movie blazed the path. And this movie gets, my take one is that I really love the jump start that this movie gets, not having to do any of that. Like, Mario's already in the Mushroom Kingdom. He is his true self. He is the Mario that we as people who like know Mario know him. Like, there he is. And so they're able to just like leap right in and go headlong into the Mushroom Kingdom and the galaxy and all that stuff without having to worry about all this backstory. And I think it helped a lot. I felt like the beginning of this movie was very like lean forward in my seat kind of moment where it's like, there's lots of big fantastical elements going on. There's new characters being introduced. There's all this stuff going on. But the first time we see Mario and Luigi, they're out doing Mario and Luigi things. They're not in Brooklyn trying to start a plumbing company. You know what I mean? And I feel like that was the launching pad that I wanted for the first movie and felt dragged down by. And here it's like, okay, now I see the vision.
Beautiful. Do you remember what my score was from Super Mario Bros.?
Yes, you gave it a 9.6.
Wow.
I gave it an 8.0, and I think I would probably be closer to like a 7, maybe high 6.
Yeah, that made my top 10 of that year too, because I was.
It was a weak year though. 2023, like it was though. It just was.
It was, but it deserved to be there.
It's a good movie, and my kids love it, and I love rewatching it.
Yeah.
There's just something about it though. Like I said, like seeing Mario
I love this.
with his family.
You ready?
It hurts.
I got to listen to all of that, and secretly my take one is that, yes, our characters are back. Yes, they're all great.
Yeah.
But this sequel does what many sequels does, and it disperses the characters.
Yeah.
And so you build this ensemble, and yet then you let them go, and you send them in 8 different directions. And that, the strength of them being together is actually what makes what made the first one so strong. And I was sad that they did that. I kind of noticed it kind of immediately. I gave them a chance to get them together faster. It takes way too long to see these characters, your favorite characters, get together. It was great. It was fantastical, like you said, to see the new characters pop up. Some that have been spoiled online intentionally by the marketing companies of Nintendo and Universal. Some unintentionally. Some that were true surprises in this that we won't tell you about. But I really, really was upset that the ensemble got split up. It was so upsetting. I am the one who likes that backstory in Super Mario Bros.
Interesting.
I love that story. I need an emotional through line. Just getting out the gate. Is the opening scene fantastic? Is the opening scene riveting and exciting and action packed? Yes. I would have placed it at a different point in the movie. I would have rearranged a couple of the first scenes, and I would have gotten us there still with big impact. But I feel like I would have shuffled things around just a little bit, not to get the emotional through line through it, but just to give a sense that our ensemble is still where we remember them before they disperse us. That I think would have connected me more with this movie.
That's so funny. Like I feel like I'm learning a perspective difference between us in real time right here because like I like the disbursement. Like I love the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, where it's like literally they're not together. Like they're all over the place. That for me gives it a sense of scale. It gives it a sense of like, there's a lot of things going on that need to be, it's almost like reading a book where it's like one chapter is this is happening and then over here, this is happening. I like that. It takes a really delicate balance. And I don't know that they always struck that balance in this, to your point. But I also would say that with a sequel, I love to start with something other than what the audience is expecting.
Yeah.
I love because going in a sequel, you're like, well, it's going to be more of what I saw before. So in your brain, you're just going, it's going to be more, it's going to open on Mario.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't open on Mario, it's like, Okay.
Yeah.
Let's lean forward. Like I want it to start different, and that like quenched my thirst.
I still wouldn't have opened it on Mario.
Yeah.
I want the writers to work even harder because I want the feeling of an ensemble, but I definitely don't want to repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It is kind of like, okay, so kind of like Infinity War versus Endgame. Infinity War, they're all together. Endgame, they're all dispersed. I like Infinity War more than Endgame.
It takes a while for them to get together in Infinity War too, though.
It does, but you feel like they're already together or all working towards the same goal together instead of some like discovering things and side quests and such. Not that this movie does that, but that's what other sequels do. It's kind of like the trope where the superhero loses his power. Like, I hate that trope. I think that everyone does that.
Everybody does it.
Don't do that
in the middle of the franchise. Yeah, it's true.
Do
It's
something
true.
new. Do something new.
Mhm.
And the disbursement, it got me. It got me. Take two. Cam, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna call this the reverse Surf Dracula. Are you familiar with Surf Dracula?
Whoa.
Okay, hold
Say
on.
it again. The reverse surf Dracula?
Reverse Surf Dracula.
No idea what that is.
Okay. Stick with me. I should have more properly researched this, and I meant to, but I got caught up listening to Super Mario Galaxy music on the way home instead of talking to like ChatGPT or Siri or something about this. But which I shouldn't have said her name because now she's gonna be like all over the place. Reverse Surf Dracula. So are you familiar with the Surf Dracula theory?
No, not either.
Okay. I don't even know if theory is the right word for it, but there is a really funny it originated, I believe, on Twitter, where somebody was like, modern shows and movies will be like Surf Dracula, and that's the name of the show. And it'll be like 7 episodes of Dracula just doing Dracula things, and then episode 8 he finally surfs. Okay. So there is this trope right now, and if you've watched any MCU TV show since COVID, it has this where it's like 7 episodes, a kind of nothing, right? Episode 8 we get Falcon in the Captain America suit. You know what I mean? Or like Moon Knight doing Moon Knight thing. Finally, right? So people poke fun of that, and they call it Surf Dracula, where it's like there is this thought that like you have to earn that payoff. And as a fan of a beloved franchise like this, or like the MCU or whatever, I get why they want to do that, because part of it is like they're scared to scale too fast, and then where do they go?
Yeah,
totally get that, and that's crucial for storytelling. So you have to play it right. But there's something so disingenuous and terrible as a fan to watch Surf Dracula play out, where Falcon and Winter Soldier was infuriating.
Yes.
Right? You're waiting for him to become Captain America. You know he's going to become Captain America. You want to see him become Captain America. And not for half of an episode. You want it for 4 out of 8 episodes, probably. It's like, so what they do here is reverse Surf Dracula. And this is really what they did in the first movie too, which is like, they're just not afraid to throw crap out there. And they're like, and sure, some will call it fan service. Some will call it just like throwing a lot of things at it and see what sticks. To me, it feels very inherently Nintendo for them to just go, yep, this power up was used in one game and we haven't laid the groundwork for it. Screw it. Like, throw Mario in this power up, throw Luigi in this power up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, throw this Easter egg from one game in there. And just like, they just gave us everything. I mean, there's so many characters. There's so much stuff. This is the reverse Surf Dracula. They are not going to make you wait for a payoff. Like, they're not going to make you feel like you have to earn it. They're just like, let's do everything that makes Mario great, and let's do it big and loud and crazy and colorful, and let's just go. And that was something I really respected about the first movie, where it's like, we got Fire Donkey Kong, which like is not a thing, like hasn't been a thing.
Just
and
happened.
Right. And like you get the Tanuki suit and like all these power-ups that I thought like, we're not going to see that till Super Mario 5. And they're just like, nope, you're going to see it now. And in this movie was so much of that, where they're like, we have all these great characters, all these great power-ups. Boom, let's go.
Yeah. They didn't hesitate. They didn't hesitate at all. And you're right.
I like that.
And it's because it's established, right? Like, here's a power-up. You get a mushroom, you get big. Here's a flower, like in the first one, right? So then there were all these other ones in this one. It was like, I don't need a warm-up for that. That part was great. You're right.
Because if this isn't a movie for the fans, right, then what is it?
Yeah.
It's what it is. Like, let's just let's just call a spade a spade.
Mhm.
This is not a cinematic masterpiece, and they're not trying to make it a cinematic masterpiece.
How dare you?
No, but what they're doing is something different. They just are trying to make a movie to get the fans excited.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Reverse Surf Dracula. And they did it, and I love it.
I want a shirt that says Surf Dracula on it.
Look up Surf Dracula. Just go look it up. It's really funny. And I probably butchered the explanation, but I think I got the
I think you nailed it. I want reverse Surf Dracula on the front, and regular Surf Dracula on the back.
Yes.
To really drive home this point. Like, well, why isn't it on the first? Like, did you read both sides of this shirt?
Yeah, you got to figure it out.
That's what I want. I love it. My take two has to be Glenn Powell.
Wow.
Yeah, right? It was announced from the marketing team of Universal that he would be playing
Fox McCloud.
Fox McCloud. I always forget his last name. Fox McCloud. And Glenn Powell, like him or love him, he's been on just an absolute parade of stinkers of movies in his claimed his rise to fame with Top Gun Maverick. He got the lead role in Twisters, which was decent, but really Top Gun Maverick is what he's chasing. And for the first time in forever, to quote Anna from Arendelle, I think that he finally found it in voice acting with this character. He comes in hot when his character is introduced, and I was like, nope, I remember that's Glenn Powell. That sounds like Glenn Powell. But then the rest of the time didn't sound like Glenn Powell, and I was like, thank you, sir, for differentiating your voice. And all of his inflections, all of his choices as the voice actor, as Fox McCloud, were spectacular. Thought he did a fantastic job.
I do think he did a great job. I think it's tough to, and to be clear, we're talking about this because there was a character poster, there was an announcement. It was very heavily publicized. So some people, if you're shaking your fist and saying that's a spoiler, it's really technically not. How we define it is if they released it before the movie from themselves and it wasn't a leak. You know, like we weren't talking about Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man before that came out, even though it was heavily rumored. They never officially announced it. There's a poster. He's on it. Like it's out there. Fox McCloud, very hard character to fit in this world tonally. And I feel like that was the thing that I was a little shaken by right away, was like, they're going for this like Han Solo type motif here.
Yep.
Of just like the rugged renegade pilot who's into danger and is super cool. And that's all great. Fox, as I know him from the old Star Fox games, as well as more recently and how more people know him now, is Super Smash Brothers. That Super Smash Brothers bit makes me want to go, Fox should be more serious than this. Fox should be a little more cool. But I think the way they fit him into this world actually worked. I'm with you, whereas at first I was like, whoa, too much, too hard. But then it was like, okay, we kind of like eased into a nice pocket where you didn't do too much with it. It felt tonally appropriate without feeling, and I'm not the world's biggest like Star Fox fan, so don't come after me, without feeling disingenuous to the actual essence of the character. So I think it worked overall, and I'm surprised that it did.
Yeah, across the board, not there weren't a lot of extra characters, which again is also a bad sequel trope. Too many extra characters. There weren't a lot of extra characters. They were 50-50 on their introductions. Some were fantastic, some were not so great. I keep saying fantastic. Someone stop me. Some were incredible. Some were underwhelming. And this one was underwhelming, but then 1 minute later you loved him. Like it was like, great, you fixed it just like that. And then other ones were literally out of this galaxy.
Yeah. Great one.
Thank you. No one
if I laugh long enough.
No one saw that coming. Take three. Pacing. A lot of times we talk about pacing being too slow. Pacing was too fast here. Very fast in my opinion. And again, this is a hard review for me because I get it, you know, like again, you go back to what makes video game adaptations so difficult. We've talked about it before and it applies again here, is that the video game protagonist is not like a book protagonist. A book protagonist is so detailed. You are in their brain, you know their every thought. A video game protagonist is meant to be you. And therefore, they are intentionally pretty vanilla. They don't say a lot. They don't have a lot of strong opinions. They are
they can be anyone or anything. That is the whole point. That makes a Mario movie difficult because you have to give Mario a personality, who is a character that doesn't really have much of a personality. And everybody's going to have a different opinion on what his personality should be, because it should be them, because that's what they're used to, is feeling themselves through Mario. So all that is to say, my take 3, the pacing is too fast. And the reason that I think it's too fast is because they don't want to spend too much time having dialogue. And they were very, very comfortable, apparently, in this movie, relying on things other than dialogue. There was lots of big moments where there was nothing being said.
Yes.
And they were just like, boom, 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 let's go. And let's let the music do the talking. Let's let the visuals do the talking. I felt like they did that a little bit too much. And I was kind of wanting for more of an emotional weight to it. That first movie, as much as I don't like the Brooklyn stuff at the beginning, it does create an emotional weight that pays off very, very well in the ending, in the finale. There is an emotional climax to that movie. This movie, there are flashes of it, and there are certain storylines I felt did very well. I felt like the Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. storyline is very good and works. But there are other storylines that I'm not going to name, like the Bowser Jr., that I didn't feel like had as much weight, and I think it's because we just really rushed through a lot of stuff. So as much as I don't want them to belabor the point with dialogue, I do think there were a few moments where they were a little too eager to take a back seat and not explain certain things or take a moment to let the dialogue build relationships, and that hurt them in the ending of it.
Yeah. You want to keep your score the same from Super Mario Bros. Now? You don't want to like drop it, huh? Because that dialogue is good.
No, I have. There is just something still very uncanny about that first movie for me, and the needle drops in that first movie are atrocious.
No, not atrocious. They are. They're like a wedding DJ trying to get the crowd on the floor, and they're not quite sure what's gonna hit. You know, that's what it is.
0 atrocious needle drops in this movie, which was so key. It feels like they listened to the fans. And I will say this, and I mean this as unironically as possible: the Mario Galaxy music is masterful. They have an app called Nintendo Music because Nintendo likes to squeeze the money out of every orifice. They don't like to license things out. You can't listen to it.
Do you pay for this?
Well, I pay for the Nintendo Switch online.
Okay. Yeah.
And you get it through that.
Got it.
So
I thought you paid an additional, and I was like, man, you are more of a Super Mario fan than I thought.
Dude, I'm about as hard as they get, but still, like, I'm not saying I would pay for it. I'm just saying
wait.
You can't just go on Apple Music and Spotify and listen to Super Mario Galaxy music. But genuinely, it was so important to me that they let the music be the music from the games in this one, because that music is so good. Like, just go YouTube Gusty Gardens Galaxy, and you will ascend. You will float off the ground like Sadie Sink running up that hill. It is beautiful.
If you subscribe to this elite platform where that Nintendo only plays their services and songs, please let us know. I want your job. That'd be fantastic. Take number 3 for me. You know, there are a lot of flashbacks in this film. That's just a normal story story mechanism that films use, and I felt like there were some flashbacks that happened way too late in the structure of this movie. Again, I would have shuffled up the editing just a little bit here, not drastically, not in a crazy amount, not in a super impactful way, but I would have led the audience in a bit more of a direct way versus the timing that they laid these flashbacks in. So that part irked me. But I got over it. When it happened, I was like, no, I wanted this earlier. I knew what it was. I knew the connection. I knew what it was going for, but I just wanted it earlier for the structure of the film. So flashbacks, they feel like lazy writing when they're inserted late into the movie, as late as this one came in.
Yep. Totally fair.
Thank you.
Totally fair.
Thank you for saluting me too. For those listening on the podcast and not watching, yeah, full on saluted me just now.
Don't make me cough.
Stood up, saluted me, bowed. He did every single possible cultural acknowledgement of how great that take was. So
this is why I'm always trying to push you guys to YouTube, is so that Kurt can't gaslight you. It's so important to me.
What? You can't, no takesy backsies. Now, finally, we're going to talk about our last looks. Any final thoughts? And then we're going to score this movie, how we think it impacted us, and it might impact you when you see this in theaters. Last looks, Cam, what you got?
Can I ask one question before we head into our last looks?
No. Yes,
I should have asked you before we got on, but just, did you feel like the audio mix in our auditorium was subpar? You can be honest. Keep me honest.
I was having a conversation with my wife before I answer your question. I was having a conversation with my wife about, we're going to take our kids to see this movie. And I was like, well, what are we going to do? I don't think it's an IMAX, or maybe it is. And should I get on the deluxe screen or whatever? She's like, I don't care. I don't care what screen it is, because she's not obsessed like we are.
Yeah.
And I said, all right. Maybe it doesn't matter. I think it matters because our audio was subpar.
Okay,
in this
thank
theater,
you.
for sure.
Good. Because I'm gonna chalk up some of the lack of feels that I got to the point that the music just wasn't thumping and there wasn't sound going on around me. I wanted to feel enveloped in it, and I felt like there were some of those moments where they let the music do the talking, where I was like, this fundamentally I agree with. This works. Like, this set piece works, but why am I not feeling it in my soul? And I felt like only about 30 minutes into the movie, I was like, I think it's because it's not loud enough and I'm not feeling the music. And I feel like if it was swelling and I could feel the bass and all those things, like, it would have helped.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep me honest on that one. So I appreciate that. But this is more what I had in mind for a Mario movie whenever I saw the first one. Just in my opinion, this is more my style of movie. I like how much bigger in scale this movie feels. As much as I loved spending time in the Mushroom Kingdom and the Kong Kingdom in the last movie, this feels like a Super Mario Galaxy movie. It feels big. The animation is gorgeous. We didn't talk about it in any of our takes, but Illumination continues to do such a fabulous job of bringing characters to life. I don't always agree with the way they tell stories, and I said this in our last review, and it still rings true to this day. I don't think Illumination has come anywhere close to the storytelling abilities of, say, like a Pixar or even a Sony Animation Studios or anything like that. But the way they bring characters to life and the warmth and the color that they inject into them is gorgeous, and it works so well with these Mario characters. There were so many times where I was like, man, this looks sick. So yeah, the scale of it, the look of it, I liked the character mix that we got. I actually liked it quite a bit. I felt like there was a good balance. I liked a lot of the subplots. The story is not perfect. I got to be honest with myself. Like, the story has some bumps and bruises. It's the flashbacks. It's the pacing. It's just a little rough around the edges. But overall, I find myself really liking this movie and finding it very fun. And just as a fan of Mario, just really clicking with this one and feeling like this feels so much truer to the games, to me, than that first movie. And that's what I was really yearning for. And so, again, remember that I am sort of retroactively revising my score down on the first movie. And so with that, and I will make that official on Letterboxd next time I rewatch it, I guess. I'm giving this one it's so hard. I'm giving it a 7.9.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 7.9 out of 10. I flirted with 8. 8 is what I gave the first movie that I'm now moving down. I can't totally give it an 8 because I feel like there's some screws that need to be tightened on the story piece, and I couldn't ignore that. But I just want to say that I will rewatch this movie. I will enjoy rewatching this movie with my kids, and I love all of the Nintendo elements. On that part, from a fan service perspective, it checks every box, and that's why I'm as high as I am on it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. What a super score.
Thanks, man. You're really on one tonight, Kirk.
Cam is now washing my feet. He thought that was such a good pun to throw in there for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Fantastic. I said it again. Fantastic.
Wow. Can we get a fantastic counter going? I mean, we got to do that next time. Once our budget increases and we get a real producer in here, and it's not just me at 2 a.m. We're going to make that happen.
And they're going to sit with the water gun and shoot me every time I say a word repetitively.
I love it.
Oh my goodness. I would say that this one wasn't as for me. Again, as the more passive fan, love Mario. I'm not, I don't play all the games because I don't have the skill to do it, but I do like to watch people playing Mario games, as strange as that is, especially someone as passionate as Cam. Not as much for me, but I know that my son and my daughter who do like to play Mario games, they're going to love it just as passionately as you and as your kids. It's going to be a hot movie. It's going to make $1 billion. I don't think it'll cross as to the level of the first one of Super Mario Bros. Movie, but I think it's going to be hot for a while. I think then it's going to sizzle. I think that the first one will be more beloved than this one until inevitably the third one comes out, and I think that's where they're going to get it like really right, the balance like really, really right. No idea what the third one's going to be. No clue whatsoever. Will they make a third one? 1 billion %. Yes. So this one wasn't for me. Still enjoyable. Still worth it in the theaters. 6.0 out of 10 kernels.
Very fair.
Would you say that is super or fantastic?
No.
Oh, I'm going to get kicked out of this chair pretty soon. We appreciate all of you watching our spoiler-free episode of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We hope that you get to see this in theaters very, very soon. Take the whole family. Spend, your second mortgage to do so with the current state of rising theater costs. Thank you for supporting good movies in theaters. Ryan Gosling recently came out and said it's not our responsibility to get you to the theaters. It's our responsibility to make a good film that brings you to the theaters versus us just going. So
yeah, it's not your responsibility to pay and go,
to just keep it open.
Right. It's our responsibility to make that. I thought that was a good sentiment. He got some major points for that.
They've got to make a good movie for us to come to.
And I would say too, sorry for the crosstalk, that this is a great one to see in theaters.
Yes.
Especially if you're a Nintendo fan. If you're craving some, and I didn't see this movie in theaters, so maybe it's a bad example, Minecraft-esque concert type moments, or like a Spider-Man No Way Home type, like big, like there are moments like that in this movie. And so I think it's very important. Like I'm looking forward. We were in like a mostly empty auditorium tonight because it was just for press and people who were invited to it. But I'm very much looking forward to my screening with the public, like the general public, because of the energy that will be in the room.
Yeah. And even with our limited screening, there were a couple of people in the crowd that were like, what? you know, like, no, like they were very vocal. They were excited to see that the thing's happening. We're usually a little bit more like, oh, we'll laugh. Like we're good
no
laughers.
Clapping in the press box, you know.
Yeah. We'll golf clap at the end if need be. But we'll laugh if your movie's bad. But there was no bad laughter coming out of this at all. Thank you so much for choosing us. Like we said at the top of the episode, a spoiler-free movie review podcast. Like, subscribe, follow anywhere on YouTube, on podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you like to listen to podcasts. We're here for you. Like, heart, subscribe, follow for more spoiler-free content here or on our website. That website is popcorn4breakfast.com. That's popcorn4breakfast.com. A special thank you to the Smoothie Kings, St. Louis area Smoothie Kings, who are our title sponsors to make all of this happen on this camera. And Cam, look at your camera and this camera together. All of the cameras, all of the lighting, everything that we owe it to them. Special thank you to our executive producer and audio specialist, Ryan Spriggs, who makes us sound delicious for your ears. And all the original music is provided by the band Rhetoric. We thank you. Listen to him on Spotify. We'll see you next time for another spoiler-free movie review.
See ya.